So let us turn to our very special guest today, all the way from Australia. Samuel Osbourne is joining us live in studio. Thank you so much for being here, Sam.
It is an absolute pleasure, Dr. Nita. I suppose I should say g'day from Australia. There's my obligatory Australian accent phrase for the day.
Well, I also will ask you at some point to do your beat thing that you do. You want to give us a little teeny sample?
Well, we've only just met.
Oh, well,
Okay.
I just think the listeners will love it.
A bit of beatboxing, a bit of party trick of mine, some hip-hop.
That is awesome.
You're welcome. It was a lot of fun.
You did that only with your voice.
Just the voice and the vocal cords.
No, but Teddy didn't do anything. Teddy, our engineer, he's like looking at us like, whoa.
Thumbs up.
Awesome. So we're going to talk about something very special today, our dreams. And one of the things I'd like for you to know is a quote by Khalil Gibran when he said, "Remember your dreams, for in them is hidden the gate to eternity."
Beautiful.
That's powerful. So let's talk about what you do and what fabulous treat you're going to bring us to deepen our awareness of ourselves and help us learn about dreams.
Okay.
So what got you interested in dreams?
The experiences from childhood when I had dreams that were vivid and shocking, and they really just left a real mark on my character to find out why did I have them and what did they mean and what was the feelings and was there anything else to them. Specifically, the dreams I had were nightmares, and they were very vivid and lucid, and even from that age left a great impression on me to explore where they came from and why we have them and what we can do with them. That's where it started.
Did anybody help you with your dreams? Like, did you go to your parents or anything?
Well, I had one of my aunties was a great mentor to me, and I'm blessed. So if my auntie Beryl is listening all the way in Australia, I want to say thank you for, let's say, pointing me in the right direction or gently suggesting a few great books to read.
That's awesome. So many of us have aunties. I have two aunties that were so special in my life. So what do you tell people who say, well, I don't really remember my dreams very much?
I say you need to start a hobby that is an adult's version of something you loved to do as a child, because that will activate the imagination. And I believe that's really important, and it works because if you think of the everyday person going about their life and doing the same thing, you're not really giving your unconscious fresh material to give you fresh dreams. So you've got to go and play a little bit. You've got to go and make something, whether that's painting, digital art, music, singing, anything. And something you need to give the unconscious novel, fresh ideas to work with. Otherwise, you're just not going to get them.
It's so interesting what you say about the unconscious, because in studying hypnosis and different therapeutic tools over the years, all the teachers and all the researchers say we're maximally using 5 to 10% of our available consciousness. So that means essentially we're walking around 90 to 95% unconscious.
Yeah, we are, most of our days, everything that comes to us, we are mostly unaware of it. Like right now, you and me in this studio are aware of talking to each other, but we're not aware of the fact that our heart is beating, that there's synaptic firings going on in our heads, or what's going on outside the building. But it's happening, so that's it's normal part of life that we are just unconscious of so much stuff. We're just not aware of it.
And one of my goals in this arena of radio is to help people become more conscious. So to that end, how I think I literally stumbled onto Sam when we were both in a networking atmosphere about 5 or 6 weeks ago, is because I just draw people in that want to make the unconscious conscious. And isn't that what dreams are all about?
Dreams do have that magical quality to them where you can definitely go into the dream and have a great experience and it can affect you emotionally. But I do believe that it brings a bit of magic back out into everyday life. And I can't back that up with science and numbers, and I'm not even going to try to, and I don't expect people to even bother with it because you don't need these science and the facts to be an authority. You should be the authority for your inner world. And yeah, you should just be a bit more playful and take the whole thing a bit more lightly. I think the unconscious wants you to do well, and you should befriend it. Simple as that.
And it can be our friend.
Yeah.
It really can. So who have you studied that inspired you?
Oh, this week I'm actually reading Carl Jung, his book called Man and His Symbols.
Great classic.
Last month I read Joseph Campbell's Pathway to Bliss, which is Comparative Mythology 101. Very comprehensive books, both of them, considering the topic. They were written so that anyone can get something from it.
So one of the things that we're going to do here, if you're just joining us here on InnerVision, my guest is Samuel Osbourne from Australia. He's a researcher and a speaker and very gifted and talented. And Samuel is going to offer a dream workshop to KPFK listeners for a mere $75 pledge on 818-985-5735. And there's a limited amount of seats, so we're going to go right into letting Samuel describe what will happen in this workshop. But you might want to call 818-985-KPFK so you don't lose the opportunity, because I think we'll probably move all the seats rather quickly in this hour. And we hope to do that because being with Sam is an absolute treat. So if dreams fascinate you, if you want to remember your dreams and interpret them better, then this will be for you. So tell us, Samuel, what will the workshop teach people?
3 things: how to remember their dreams, how to illustrate them, and interpret them. So try to keep it simple. And the way you remember the dreams, as I mentioned before, is to activate the imagination. Give it fresh ideas by doing something during your day that's novel, creative, and a bit playful, such as something you would do as a child when you were playing. And a great example from Carl Jung, he enjoyed making things with rocks and the dirt. I mean, what child really doesn't? And so he thought, well, as an adult, I'll make something with rocks. And he found that really boosted the richness and clarity of his dreams. The second thing is to illustrate them, or really to concretize something, that image, that symbol from the unconscious, and bring it into conscious awareness. And a really simple way is to draw them. Get a piece of paper or a journal and draw them, no matter how clumsy your first beginnings are. It strengthens the dreams that you will have, and it kind of sends a message to the dreams or the unconscious that you value them and that you want more. And it's going to go, he or she's listening. Let's send them more. Great. That the dreams are like, we need to get the conscious mind's attention so that it can reap the wisdom. And the third key is to interpret them. And this is, I think, what most people struggle with the most, is like, what do my dreams mean?
Yes.
And so we look to the dream meaning books, and that's an okay start. However, I really agree with Carl Jung when he says to be your own interpreter and to develop your own key for interpreting your dreams. And the way you do that is simply to stare at your drawings in a calmed state and let them speak for themselves, and they will. And you think, oh, that's a bit a bit strange to let your own images speak for themselves, but I say give it a shot.
You know, I completely can see that because we have symbols and meanings attached to everything. So, like, you have a tie on, and it's got kind of a paisley pattern to it. And so when I see paisley, I think happy thoughts because I love paisley, I love color. So if I dreamt about your tie, that would be a happy thing to me, or any tie with color in it. And when you think about what means something to you, if you're listening, just close your eyes and think of an image that might come up. It could be for something very simple, something around your house like a clock or a book or some objet d'art that you love. Then if you see that in a dream and it puzzles you, then you could say to yourself, well, I like that bowl. So-and-so gave it to me. It's a happy memory. So, but if I walked into your house and saw that green glass bowl, it would be like, oh, that's a pretty green glass bowl, because I don't have the whole story behind it. So is that kind of what happens when...
That's one way, definitely. If you have to really be your own guide when it comes to this. And as clumsy as you start, it is better to do that than to not start at all, or to think that you need to be some expert at it and read a whole bunch of psychological books. It's like, no. I find that if you are asking two questions, this is how I come to go. I ask the dream, what are you trying to tell me? And I sit there. And the second question I ask is, what are you trying to tell me about my life? Just two simple questions. So really, dreams coupled with introspection equals meditating on your dreams and gaining wisdom from the unconscious.
So let's take a few minutes to talk about how exactly this will benefit you. You've heard Sam say the 3 things you learned from the workshop and what questions to ask your dream. And I know how this goes. I know that when you hear information on this program or on other KPFK programs, you get excited, you get happy, you want to try it out. So I'm going to suggest that you try it out with Samuel on March 12th from 1 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a Sunday, right here at KPFK in Studio A. We're going to have chairs and tables set up for you and supplies and all kinds of fun things. I'll be here too.
Yep.
And we want you to do this with us, with Samuel, in a group where you can hear Sam talk for more than what you're going to get during this hour. Because Sam is lively and fun and funny, and he has these pearls of wisdom he drops on you that are amazing, amazing. And so I would love for you to be able to take this opportunity to come down on March 12th from 1 to 4. It's a 3-hour workshop, and you can join and get a spot for a mere $75 pledge. Now, when Sam does a 3-hour workshop, it's usually a minimum of $300. So that Sam is completely volunteering his time. We're not giving him any portion of that $75. It's an amazing, amazing deal. And in a minute, when he's rich and famous, we might not be able to get him back for quite that price. So please go to the phones right now and call 818-985-5735, 818-985-KPFK, and reserve your spot in Sam's workshop. Just ask for the Dream Workshop on March 12th. The phone room is completely educated because I wrote all kinds of information on a whiteboard for them. And I do not want you to miss out. This will be a really fun thing. This show is in its 19th year, Sam, and I've never done a dream workshop. No one has ever offered that to me. You're completely brilliant. It was a great idea, and here we are. So
you're welcome.
Please do not miss this opportunity. Call 818-985-5735, 818-985-KPFK. Join the Dream Workshop, and do not be intimidated by the idea of drawing something, because no one's trying to be Picasso here.
Plenty of ways of cheating to be a great drawer. I'm going to show people how to turn their Mac or their laptop into a light board for tracing images off Google Images. This is what I do because I'm going to admit that I'm not a great drawer, but that's not going to stop me. So what I do is I put my Mac flat on so the screen is on the desk, and I look up an image. Say I dream of an aeroplane, so I'll type into Google Images aeroplane and the word silhouette. So I just get images that are the outline.
Oh, okay.
And I put the sketchbook over the top of the page and turn the brightness up, and I've got a light board. And then I just trace around the image, and at least then my pride is not so hurt by my terrible drawing skills. And I've got an all right image. I've got an all right image to work with, and I can shade it, I can add detail, and because I do find that when people say, "Oh, I'm not very good at drawing," it puts them off the whole idea of even starting.
Yes.
So it's okay to cheat. In fact, it's not cheating; it's being resourceful.
That's right. It is. That's a great idea. So should people bring their laptops or their iPads or something?
I believe an iPad or some sort of laptop is great. I've tried it on my phone. However,
it's too small.
No, it's too touch sensitive.
Oh,
so if you're trying to trace something, the image just keeps zooming in and out and goes all over the place. Unless there's an app where you can get a screenshot of your phone and
then hold it there.
Hold it somewhere. I think you can do it. I haven't played around with it too much. I got too frustrated. I was like, I'm just going to use my Mac.
Well, because you knew your Mac would work.
It used a bigger screen.
Yeah,
of
course. So you want to bring your laptop or your iPad along to this workshop. And if you don't have one of those to bring, we will have something for you that you can use to get the images that you want.
Bring a magazine or a photo book. I mean, tracing an image, the outline of an image is just one thing. You might actually be okay at drawing and want to give that a go. And you might want to, there's the scrapbooking idea, cutting out images from a magazine. We did it as kids and at high school, so some people out there might be like, yeah, I love doing that. Some people might want to create digital art on a piece of software on their Mac rather than draw it. Whatever concretizes it, brings it into the world. So if you can create a piece of art on your computer in a digital way, that's fine. That's still in the conscious awareness of your everyday life.
The whole point is to be able to have it to look at in whatever form it is to work the imagination.
It does something. I know that Rudolf Steiner, who I read a lot of, talks about activating the soul forces, which is a nice, let's say, fancy pants way of saying what you're made of. And I think it's a beautiful thing to activate your soul forces by pen and paper or pencil and paper, or in our modern age, digital art. It's using your hands and it's engaging parts of you that wouldn't necessarily have been used. And it just brings it to your attention. I also recommend handwriting for writing notes about your dreams. Because, again,
instead of typing.
Mm-hmm. However, I will type my dreams into my phone, into the memo, just because I'm out and about. It's fine. But there's a romantic feel about keeping a handwritten journal. It creates value and appreciation for your dreams. And really it comes down to, if you appreciate something, does it decay or does it grow?
Well, obviously it grows.
It grows. So
excuse me. Yes,
just valuing
absolutely.
and appreciating your dreams makes you a better dreamer.
And if you're a better dreamer, then that goes to what you just said, Rudolf Steiner's great quote, activating soul forces. So maybe there's something in your life that you have found to be unattainable. And maybe there's...
Finding my phone charger. My car keys, let alone remembering my dreams.
That's a great answer. But if you're a listener and you're thinking, oh, I don't know. I mean, I just always wanted to go play that guitar or do something different than this horrible office job I have. Not that all office jobs are horrible. Some people love them. But if you are a square peg in a round hole, one of the best ways to activate getting yourself in motion to make a shift, because human beings essentially don't like change. But you know you need a change, and you know you want to make a shift, but where do you start? And maybe some of you don't even realize what the next game is for you. You're not sure what you want to do. Some people know what they want to do, they're just not doing it. But all of these stuck places, you can move off of these stuck places by doing dream work. I have seen it happen over and over and over again. Over the years, I've been a therapist for a long time. Over the years, the people that have done the dream journals have made incredible insights and amazing progress to the next goal or the next stage in their life. It's no longer possible that we come on the planet and we just are here for like 30 years of our work life, we get a gold watch, we retire. That's not life anymore. The average person is going to change careers in our lifetimes 6 or 7 times.
I'm included in that.
Because we keep living and I'm in my third career.
Well, I went looking for, let us say, my bliss. I went looking for the thing that that makes my heart sing, and I wasn't prepared to settle for anything less. And I got to the point where I felt okay changing career. I was like, to hell with it. It's my life. I want it to be awesome. So I went looking for the thing that really moved me, that I wanted to get out there and do and gave meaning and richness to my life. And a lot of my wisdom or my insights came from having imaginary conversations with things that I saw in my dreams. And as funny as it sounds, it works. And you could say I have a Douglas Adams Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy state of mind.
I love that.
Where you just got to see things with the humor and the joy for it all. Yeah, there's going to be struggles and challenges, but
that's life.
I believe we have a great superpower. It's called a sense of humor. Start using it, especially when it comes to discovering what you're all about and delving into something as mysterious as the unconscious and dreams. I mean, it's you.
So I just realized that if you're listening and you're somebody that's having trouble finding the joy and that you used to laugh more, those two things alone ought to get you calling us right now and come to this workshop. 818-985-5735, 818-985-KPFK. We already have a few spaces that have been taken. It's a $75 pledge. And what I'd really like for you to do is consider we can't go over 20 spots because Studio A only holds so many people. So I'd like you to consider calling right now. We're halfway through the program. I don't want you to miss out. 818-985-5735. And when you pledge, you say that you would like the Dream Workshop. And so you'll have 3 hours with Samuel in the afternoon, Sunday afternoon from 1 to 4 on March 12th. That is March 12th. Comes up in less than a month. So get busy and jot those dreams down or describe an image that you see. And when you come to the workshop, you can draw it or cut out a picture, or Samuel will teach you how to use the screen on your laptop or your iPad, or bring magazines with pictures that depict those images in your dreams. And Samuel's going to teach you how to put that all together. And he will teach us to remember, to illustrate, and to interpret dreams. And the thing is, when you go someplace and you pay somebody a lot of money like me to interpret a dream, well, it's my interpretation of your dream. I teach people to do what you do, Samuel. I teach people to find the symbols within and describe those symbols. And people get mad at me now and then over the years because I wanted you to interpret my dream. Yes, I know. But it's like, it's not my dream. It's your dream. If I sit here and interpret one of my dreams and try to teach you how to interpret your dream, you don't know my symbols and what they mean to me. So that's not going to work either. I have to help you to recognize what is important to you and what. When you see a cat or a dog, what does that mean to you? Does that make you smile? Is that a happy thought? Or were you bitten by a big dog and you just get terrified and want to run the other way? See, I have no way of knowing those things about you. So only you know that. What does that symbol mean to you?
There's, I think, 2 types of dreams. There's the individual dreams, and then there's dreams that are collective, let us say. Dreams that over time, in all cultures, in all places, people have had dreams that have a shared theme. And an individual can have one of these dreams and genuinely say, I have no idea what this means and why I'm having it. And therefore an interpreter will probably be able to say, go and read up on world mythology. Symbols from traditions, religious and spiritual traditions are a good start. And inquiring into what they mean and what are they meant for people throughout history. And Carl Jung would call them archetype symbols, or symbols that are common or instinctual throughout time for people just to have. And I think it's a beautiful thing that the unconscious mind, or each person, is born with these instinctual dreams that we can have, just like birds know how to make a nest, just like ants know how to make a beautiful city underground. Humans are born with this beautiful instinct of having archetype dreams. I think we should really look into it more.
There's another resource for that. Carolyn Mace, MYSS, wrote a book or two about this. That since I've interviewed her many times over the years on this program, some people listening might remember that particular book, and it may be called Sacred Contracts. I'm not sure, but this is a very resourceful audience, and they will figure out, how to follow up on all these books and these authors that we're mentioning. Just go to Amazon, and you know how to do that. The thing I want you to realize is that whether you're having an archetypal dream or a very personal dream, this workshop is really for you, because I want you to get comfortable to wake up in the morning and say, oh, this dream, blah, 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 and go through the process. Remember it, illustrate it. Later on in the day when you have time, go back to your illustration or illustrations, interpret it. And that's what you're going to get from this workshop. 818-985-5735, 818-985-KPFK. So little by little, we're selling these workshops, so to speak. We are accepting your $75 pledges, and we're giving you a spot in the workshop should you want one. If you want to pledge any amount of money and just not take a gift, that's your prerogative. I'm happy to accept all pledges. 818-985-5735, 818-985-KPFK. The thing that's very special about having Samuel here today with us is you've not been in America very long, about 2 months now?
I have been here about 10, 11 weeks.
So it's really just a miracle that we found each other and that you hatched this idea to make this offer to KPFK listeners, because you're starting to, even being here a short time, you're starting to speak to a lot of groups. You do a lot of networking, and I know that in the past you've charged about $300 for a 3-hour workshop at the very least. So we are getting a huge gift from Samuel Osbourne today, the way from Australia,
Very welcome.
who now lives with us in beautiful Southern California.
North
Yay!
Hollywood.
North Hollywood.
I'm a local to North Hollywood Arts District.
The NoHo Arts District.
Yeah.
Love it. 818-985-5735, 818-985-KPFK. Now, also, when our fabulous producer Kiana goes into the phone room, if you would like to be thanked over the air, say so when you speak to the phone answer, and I will thank you over the air, or Samuel will in his fabulous Australian accent. 818-985-5735, 818-985-KPFK. Here's the thing. Dreams are everything. And what is our quickest, most expeditious way into the unconscious? My opinion, it's via dreams. So if you're thinking, I don't know about this dream thing, Nita, well, here's the thing. Come to the workshop. I know you want to pledge support to KPFK anyway. I know you want to support us. We just went through horrendous times politically and socially in this country, and we're not going to get into it for our purposes today. But I know that you're feeling the stress, you're feeling the pinch, and I know what you want to do is support a station that's making every effort to bring you cutting-edge information all the time on the latest socially, politically, anything going on, like the latest science. I'll wake up in the morning and be watching a media outlet on TV, and they'll say something and I'll think, gee, I haven't heard that before. I will research it, and if there's a book or an author or an article, I will bring it to you. And I've been doing this for over 19 years, and I really invite you to support KPFK and support everyone here who's trying to stay focused on bringing you the real news, the real deal. 818-985-5735. So let me tell you, we have some people we're going to thank over the air. We're going to thank Clancy McLean, who is joining our listener-sponsor family in our workshop, and also Coralie LaSalle, thank you so much, as well as Sonia Poole. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I would love for all of these seats to be filled on March 12th, Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock. So all of you can actually meet Samuel Osbourne. I look forward to meeting you as well. And you can meet each other, because you know what's really fun, Samuel, is when KPFK listeners get together and meet each other.
And we can have a barbecue. Or as we say in Australia, you can have a barbie.
A barbie.
And just a quick note to all the Americans listening. The phrase, put another shrimp on the barbie, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but nobody in Australia says that. No one has ever said that. I know that there was a movie once about a guy and crocodiles, and he said it, or it was said in that movie, but I'm sorry to say, but everyone says that to me here, and I think it's like no one says it.
That's so funny.
I'm a bit too polite to say anything except for on, something intimate as public radio.
That's good to know. I'm glad you shared that with us. See, you never know what you're going to learn when you tune into KPFK. You never, ever know. That's amazing.
But KPFK is going to have a barbecue and get some people around and draw their dreams.
Okay. I don't know that we'll have a barbecue that day.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what we might do is
bring in In-N-Out burgers.
We might do that because there's one across the street. 818-985-5735. Please give us a call. Reserve a seat in Samuel Osbourne's Dream Workshop for a mere $75 pledge. 818-985-5735. And also Fred Espinda Aponte. I hope I'm saying your name correctly.
It's a beautiful name.
It's very lovely. Yes. Say it with your Australian accent. Maybe you'll do a better job than me.
Fred Espinda Aponte.
Love that. Perfect. So, we have Clancy, we have Coralie, we have Sonia, we have Fred Espinda. So please join us. There's 6 of us so far, right? Including Samuel and myself and whoever else we decide to pull in from staff. You never know.
Yeah.
818-985-5735. Please do join us. Call the number and ask for a spot in the Dream Workshop. All you have to do is pledge a minimum of $75. 818-985-5735. 818-985-KPFK. If you're just tuning in, this is Intervision, and with me is Samuel Osbourne, all the way from Australia, who is a researcher and workshop leader and public speaker.
And retired professional beatboxer.
Oh, okay. Retired professional beatboxer. Okay, come on. Sample.
All right, sample.
Sample. Awesome. Awesome. That was Sam with his voice.
Can I share with people what they should bring to the workshop and what benefits?
Yes.
Okay, so really just keep it simple. A blank sketchbook is a good start with a few coloured pencils, sharpener, and you're set. That's if you want to draw them. If you're going to do it on digital software program, do that.
Bring your laptop or your iPad.
Mm-hmm. The benefits of drawing your dreams and this workshop. Well, if you look at why we have dreams, I really like this idea that dreams are here to help us balance our personalities and our lives, to bring wholeness, to bring a richer experience of life and of who we are. And I think that's beautiful. So dreams they've got our back. They're trying to help compensate for things where we might be kidding ourselves, things that we're not aware of. And I believe that they are quite strategic. The unconscious is quite strategic in working in the background so that you finally wake up to yourself about certain things, whether you're doing something that's not serving you, or how to serve yourself better and how to serve the world better, how to find a richer meaning and go out there and live fully. I think that's what dreams are all about.
Over the years, I've heard dreams do so many positive things for people in their lives. It's amazing if we pay attention to our dreams. It's beautiful what you just said, Samuel. And I completely am with you on this. And that is why I got so excited about this workshop. So if you have no supplies, just bring some paper.
And a dream. If you've been having a recurring dream, perfect. Bring that in. We'll chat about it.
That's
so
right.
I like to make a workshop that's conversational, not a lecture. Very participatory. And because we're dealing with a subject that's personal. And so the people in the workshop should have a full involvement, not just sitting there and taking notes. So I really encourage people to bring along a dream they've had this week or that morning or something that's been bugging them for many years. And let us say get to the bottom of it or find the wisdom in the dream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's really going to be fun. It's a 3-hour workshop from 1 to 4 on Sunday, March 12th. And the instructor is my guest today, Samuel Osbourne from Australia, in case you couldn't detect the accent. And, well, you know, some people might think you're British. You never know.
Well, it's quite common for people in this city and in this country that I've met so far. Are you from England? Are you from South Africa? Are you from New Zealand? From Australia? And just play around with it a little bit. But Australia, Perth, Western Australia, which is considered the most isolated capital city in the world.
Is that right?
If you were to fly from LAX, 14 hours you would get to Melbourne or Sydney. And then if you flew for another 4 or 5 hours, you would get to Perth. So,
wow.
If you think the Great Barrier Reef is good, you should check out Ningaloo Reef, which is on the west side. It's beautiful. World Heritage Marine Park.
So what inspired you to leave such a beautiful place?
A girl.
Aha! The truth comes out.
I was chasing a beautiful girl across the planet. I wouldn't let her out of my sight.
All right.
Couldn't let her.
And so you both now settled in the NoHo district.
Yes.
Beautiful downtown North Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's fabulous.
And we go on date night to Hollywood Burger as often as we can. We think that's quite novel that two Australians can have date night on Friday night in Hollywood. And you probably think, oh, well, we grew up with that here. But for us, it's like, oh, that's kind of cool, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because there can be things right under our nose that we take for granted, or we can have an attitude of wonder about everything.
Oh, the dreams, they serve the function of generating awe in your life again, which I think is a massively missing ingredient for happiness.
Yes.
If you look at the functions of myth and even religion in days gone by, and I'm sort of quoting from Joseph Campbell here, he would say that myth has 4 functions. First of all, it has to give people an image of the universe, a model. The second bit is that it must create awe, and your dreams are very curious in their nature and can create awe. Like, what is it all about? And then myths also help out with the social organization. Or what are we going to do with this wisdom? How are we going to all get along? And the 4th function is the personal, the psychological personal effect of how you are going to be as a person, what are you going to do with your life. So it's very relevant to the individual. And myths are really all about symbols and stories. And we have a private myth every single night if we want, right there for us to interpret and to enrich our life. How cool is that?
It's very cool. You know, also the thing that just occurred to me a while ago when we were talking about archetypal dreams, it could be that of the 7 or 8 or 9 people that have taken a seat so far in the dream workshop, perhaps one or more of you is having archetypal dreams. And if that's the case and you decide to share that with the group, it might be that you share your dream and someone else says, well, wait, I've had that dream as well. And imagine the camaraderie that develops just right there in 3 hours because of shared dreams that we might be having. As a matter of fact, there was some research done after the attack on the World Trade Center in 9/11 of 2001. And they looked at people's dreams. Do you remember this? And they found that many people had been having some sort of dream that indicated something.
Well, I know that the Global Consciousness Project and their random number generators all went crazy, or let us say, I mean, that's probably a bit of an overstatement, but they noticed that the random number generators all around the world spiked before it was public news. And that's kind of it's like the movie Contact with Jodie Foster, where right at the end, and she says, I was gone for several hours, and they're like, well, where's the evidence? Where's the video evidence? And so they laughed her off stage. But then they found that, because I think she said, there was, she felt like she was gone for 14 hours. And they said, well, where's the evidence? And they said, there is none, but however, there was 14 hours of static. So, that's still not, case ain't solved.
That's right.
And I think we should look into things that happen.
Absolutely.
Why do we have to label them as anomalies or that's just some weird thing? I think we should look into the strange and the beautiful and discover more about who we are. We live in a time where we ought to do that. In fact, we kind of need to. We need all the help we can get.
We really do. It's very interesting how we take things for granted or we just write it off as, it's a coincidence, but it's not. There's amazing synchronicities going on all the time.
And if you think of yourself as, let's say, a bit daft, and you know what I'm saying, then I kind of think of myself like this sometimes, and just think I need all the help I can get. So I'm going to look into the strange and the unconscious for tools that are going to be tangible or going to help me in a tangible way in my everyday life. That's what it comes down to.
Absolutely. So what does it come down for you if you're listening and you know that it's time for you to pledge? And there's about 8 minutes left for you to do so in this hour. We'd love for you to call 818-985-5735, pledge a $75 amount, and you can ask for a seat in the Dream Workshop. That's 818-985-5735, 818-985-KPFK. And all you have to bring is your laptop or your iPad,
sketchbook,
pencils, colored pencils, a sharpener. And again, if you're somebody that just has none of this, just grab paper off the Xerox machine, plain sheets of paper, and a couple of pencils, and we will make it work for you.
I really want to encourage people to go and find a nice-looking blank journal.
Okay.
I've got one that is the Paper Blank series. I don't know if you have them here, but they have Oriental and Occidental covers, that hardbound covers. They're beautiful. You can have A5, A4 size, and
so how what's the dimensions like? Can it be like 8.5 by 11 or 5 by 8 or?
You can have
8.5 by 11.
Whatever fits
okay.
right for you.
Okay.
And
you can probably find that at like places like Michael's Art Store and different, even drugstores are selling little either 5 by 8 or 8.5 by 11 empty
or just search
journals.
Blank journals
on the internet
online, and you can find some really beautiful designs with that leather look or that embossed look. I know that if you go to book binding companies, you can say, I don't need to print anything. I just want you to bind me a book that's got blank pages but put my name on the top in gold emboss and kind of make it like a
special
Harry
thing.
Potter
nice.
special magical record. I was coming up with a few ideas, like examples would be like the Dream Journal of Chuck Norris. Just make it cool.
That's right. Just make it the Dream Journal of Clancy, Coralie, Sonia, or Fred Espinda, or any of the other people that are pledging to us right now on 818-985-5735, 818-985-KPFK. We'd love for you to take a seat in the Dream Workshop. You're going to have a lot of fun, and Samuel is so much fun to be with. And when you learn in detail what Sam has to teach you, and it's an interactive workshop, you get to share about your dreams if you would like to reveal them, which is fine. It will be a safe place to do so. We'll be right here in beautiful downtown North Hollywood at KPFK's Studio A on March 12th from 1 to 4 o'clock. It's a 3-hour workshop, and we might end up running and getting In-N-Out burgers for those who want to participate, because
I'll bring my hat.
Okay.
I actually
you have a hat?
I actually asked them for a hat one time.
Yeah.
And now I use it when I'm cooking in the kitchen because it adds to the atmosphere.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yes, I do recall when we first met, I was explaining that phenomena to you, the In-N-Out phenomena. But at any rate, back to focusing on the Dream Journal. I know this is an amazing opportunity for you. It's really, I'm so excited myself, actually. I will be there. 818-985-5735, 818-985-KPFK. Please do join the Dream Journal class, and please call us right now. We have about 5 minutes left, actually 4.5, I just realized, for you to phone 818-985-5735, 818-985-KPFK. And if you ever want to ask me a question, I am a resource for you. All you have to do is call me directly. Only I answer the phone at 818-783-6258. I am your resource for all of the area if I can possibly be. And so you can ask me anything you want to. I want you to get all that you need so you wake up every single morning to a life you love with a smile on your face. And I know that this Dream class is going to help you do just that.
Mm-hmm.
So please do pledge $75 by phoning 818-985-5735, 818-985-KPFK. I really invite you to do this because I couldn't believe when Sam and I started talking. I said, Sam, you're a genius. I've never done a Dream class ever. Ever. This will be so much fun.
Art and craft hour.
Yes, I mean, and for the KPFK listeners exclusively, 818-985-5735, 818-985-KPFK. You bring yourself and your iPad, your laptop, your blank sketchbook, some colored pencils, and, frankly, I do everything in just plain pencils sometimes.
It's totally fine. One more thing.
Crayons. Can they bring crayons?
Well, look, one more serious thing that you need to bring to the workshop, and that is a good sense of humor.
Oh, yes.
You must have a sense of humor about your unconscious, otherwise it's going to cause all sorts of problems, and you take it way too seriously. So if you want to bring crayons, or do you call them texters over here, or colored markers?
Yes, colored markers.
Bring them.
Felt tip markers, whatever, yeah.
If you need to tap into some childhood joy of scribbling all over the page, I encourage you to do it.
That's right. 818-985-5735, 818-985-KPFK. Please do go to the phones right now. Pledge your $75 to KPFK and get a spot in Daniel Osbourne's workshop. It's a dream.
Samuel. You said Daniel.
Did I say Daniel? Oh, I'm so sorry. Samuel.
There's good tears tonight.
Oh.
Tears.
You know who I was thinking of? I was thinking of the guy who does all the has done a bunch of neuro research, Daniel Goleman, and he went through my mind. Samuel Osbourne is our teacher on March 12th at 1 o'clock right here at KPFK. It's a Sunday afternoon. How best to spend a Sunday afternoon than with us right here at KPFK. So thank you so much, Samuel, for being with me today.
Welcome. So welcome.
Thank you, Kiana, for joining us in the beginning of the program. Thank you, Teddy, for being in master control with us today. Please stay tuned for more great KPFK programming. Remember, we're streaming live on the web at kpfk.org worldwide. If you miss a program, go to the audio archive link to catch up. Remember to call me. I'm your resource. And as you go about your day, think of this quote from Joseph Campbell when he said, "The privilege of a lifetime is being who you are." Call us right now, 818-985-5735. Reserve your spot in the workshop right now. I'm Nita Vallens. Thanks for listening.